What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the second episode of Riffs That Rock, Bands You Hate. Today, we're tackling Pearl Jam. What's that? It's not? Are you sure? Who is it? Guys, really? It's not them? Can someone on the fact-checking team? You guys already fact-checked. So we know for sure? Guys, we gotta get this right because it's gonna go in the video, so we need to know. I gotta know beforehand. You guys are sure? Okay. All right. Cool. YouTube, what's up? Welcome to the second episode of Riffs That Rock, Bands You Hate. Today, apparently, we are tackling Creed. What is it about turn-of-the-century bands that we all just hate? I'm not really sure. That's a topic for another video. But let's talk about Creed. So Creed is what you would call a post-grunge band. What that means, I have no idea, because grunge is already a pretty loosely defined term. Alice in Chains, Nirvana, Pearl Jam, all those bands, sure, they're from the Seattle area, but they don't really all sound very similar. So post-grunge, which literally just means after that time period, it's even harder to define. Basically, it's just taking that kind of sound of clean, dirty, clean, verse, chorus, verse, and changing it up just a little bit, making it a little bit more refined, a little bit more polished, and adding in some more classic rock and early metal influences. In Creed's case, their guitarist, Mark Tremonti, is a really big fan of thrash metal, so you have some of that early influence from early thrash showing up and making the music just a little bit heavier. I learned a lot about Creed when I was researching this video. Their first album, which came out in the late 90s, it was the first debut album from a rock band to produce 4 #1 rock Billboard singles. So they just came out and they were out the gate already pretty freaking massive, which is insane. But personally, I think their claims to fame are the notorious Creed Shreds YouTube video, and of course, who can forget the Mad TV sketch? Hey buddy, the dislike runs pretty deep, and it's pretty hilarious. If you actually Google search today, current day, 2021, if you Google search why Creed sucks, you'll find a website, #1 hit, that's called Why Creed Sucks, 100 Reasons Why. And it's this Angel Fire website that hasn't been updated in like 20 years, and it's just a list of 100 reasons why to hate this band. And honestly, I think it's absolutely hilarious that it exists, and I really hope that it never, ever gets off of the internet. I want to read some of the reasons, because I think they're pretty funny. All right, number 10, the Higher video. Number 9, that part in the song Higher when Scott Stapp says, "It helps me to appreciate." Number 8, they use that stupid effect from The Matrix when the people stop in mid-movement and the camera twists and it fixates on a person, and they do it way too much in the Higher video. Number 7, the part in the Higher video when Scott Stapp is floating above the stage. Literally 7 through 10 are all just one video. Number 6, very respectable, they suck, which I think is great. Number 4, they wear leather pants. At number 1, they sound like Hootie and the Blowfish. There's plenty of reasons that this band gets flack, honestly. I mean, their sound is pretty derivative of Pearl Jam and early 90s grunge music. It's a little polished. It's a little overproduced. I can see why a lot of people really wouldn't be vibing with it. But the reality is, I mean, they sold tens of millions of records. They were literally the biggest rock band on the planet at some point. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that Mark Tremonti can write some great riffs. What's really interesting about Creed is that their guitarist, Mark Tremonti, is an absolute beast. I mean, there's no denying that the man can write some great riffs and some great melodies. And if you're introduced to his second project first, Ultra Bridge, there's really no denying that he's phenomenal. I actually remember the first time I saw an Ultra Bridge video, it was on VH1, and I was like going through all these channels, and I saw a band with a guitar, and I was like, oh, let me check this out, and I started watching this video, and I got to the guitar solo section, and I was like, yo, that's a good guitar solo. Who is this? Who is this band? I want to know about it. hit the Google, and the first thing I saw was that it was literally all the members of Creed except with a different singer, and my mind was absolutely freaking blown. Now, sure, he's written some great riffs, he's written some great solos, but do I think he should have been named the 4th best heavy metal guitarist of all time? No, I think that might be a stretch, but I can say that the riff to the song Higher is an absolute banger. The intro, the verses, the chorus, all of it is pretty great. It's all pretty iconic and memorable. It's easy to play. It's fun to play. I mean, what more do you want in a riff, guys? So the intro and the entire song is centered around D major. Of course, it's in drop D for maximum late 90s guitar effect. And the intro kind of drones around in D major and it sounds like this. And then, of course, you have to go from clean to overdrive because that is how you take that early 90s grunge sound and bring it to the late 90s. Make sure you're able to capture that feeling. The chorus riff also is pretty great. So you have a pretty basic chord progression, but it's the little embellishments in between that really make it stand out. So this is what the progression sounds like of the chorus section without any embellishments. Here are the 2 embellishments that he uses kind of in between each one of those runs. So here's the first one and the second one. And when you put it all together, it sounds like this. All right, guys, that wraps it for episode number 2 of Riffs That Rock, Bands You Hate. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully, you enjoyed the riff. If you did, make sure you liked the video. If you hated the riff, hated the band, I don't really care. Like the video as well. If you like this stuff, make sure to subscribe and stay current. I'll be doing one of these videos every week. If you guys have an idea for bands or riffs that you want me to highlight, drop them in the comments as well. I'll see you guys next week. Peace.